Hello, and welcome to Your Story Time, Yours. My name is Miss Debbie, and I'm one of the librarians here at New Providence Library. And it's my pleasure to read you stories that you can watch at your leisure and your pleasure. Today, I have two bear stories to share for those of you who love bears and who doesn't. I was lucky enough to see a bear up close. I was in my car, and I think it was a young bear, and he was in the grass in front of somebody's house, and then he was hiding behind the tree because he was more scared of me than I was of him. Anyway, I was thrilled to see a bear that close, but I was in my car. Bear is a wild animal. You don't ever want to go up to a bear or any other wild animal or any other animal that's not your own animal. Old Bear by Kevin Henkes. I love this picture. The leaves are falling, the colorful leaves are falling as they do in the autumn. Look at this. It looks like a henna tattoo, right? On those end pages. This is published by Green Willow Books, an imprint of HarperCollins publisher. He looks pretty affable. He's walking somewhere. He's getting somewhere. By the time Old Bear fell asleep for the winter, it was snowing hard. Soon, he was dreaming. Oh, look at him all cuddled up. Do you cuddle up in your sleep? Oh, he dreamed that spring had come and he was a cub again. Aw. A cub is a baby bear, as you know. The flowers were as big as trees. He took a nap in a giant pink crocus. Isn't that a beautiful picture? There's tulips and daffodils. Then he dreamed that it was summer. The sun was a daisy and the leaves were butterflies. That's an interesting thing. Part of the sky clouded over and it rained blueberries. Bears love blueberries. There's a very famous book called Blueberries for Sal. Maybe we'll read that one spring. Look at that, blueberries. And next he dreamed of autumn. Everything was yellow and orange and brown, even the birds and the fish and the water. That's a beautiful picture. After that, he dreamed that winter was back. The world was covered in ice. It was night, and the sky was blazing with stars of all colors. The cold went on forever. Look at those stars. Don't these pictures make you want to paint pictures of your own? Old Bear slept and dreamed, dreamed and slept. When he finally woke up, it seemed to him that no time had passed since he had fallen asleep. He yawned and he stretched. He poked his head out of his den to see if it was still snowing. He blinked and blinked again. Look at the blue sky with the white clouds. Looks like spring. And when Old Bear walked out into the beautiful spring day, it took him a minute to realize he wasn't dreaming. It really was spring. Spring makes you feel so much better. And we're having spring right now. Look at the butterflies. We're having spring right now. Have you seen any butterflies yet? I have not. But see that big green weeping willow? I've seen one of those. And pink tulips, I've seen those. I don't know what these are called, but I've seen those too. And so whatever these little things are, I love spring. Spring is my favorite season. The end. Now, I have this. I love this story. It was on my discard list because nobody's borrowing it or reading it. So I said to myself, let me read this story. And it's called Let's Scare Bear by Yuko Katakawa. And it's published by Holiday House, New York. That's a little mouse pouring cups of tea, maybe. Manju cake. Manju cake is chewy, sweet, and a treat to eat. Mouse loved manju. Fox loved manju. Spider loved manju. And snake loved manju too. They were about to enjoy their manju feast when they heard a thump, thump, thump. It thumped so hard it shook their little party. Bear was passing by. Bear was the biggest, loudest, bravest, and strongest animal in the forest. They're looking out their door. He looks kind of cranky, doesn't he? Nobody likes cranky. Mouse spoke with a teeny tiny voice, and he wasn't brave or strong at all. Let's scare Bear, Mouse squeaked to his friends. Fox flashed his knife-sharp teeth at Bear. Ha! Fox said, I'll go first. Bear still looks cranky. Bear flashed his knife-sharp teeth back at Fox and laughed. Hoo-wee! Spider tried to trap Bear in a sticky web. Bear broke it with his powerful paw. Snake wrapped her strong coils around Bear. But Bear burst right through. Little Mouse tried to say, boo, but only a tiny squeak came out. Did you ever try to talk when you're scared? It's like you go like this, help, help, help. No voice comes out. Oh, look at Bear. Shame on you. Bear laughed again. Only one thing scares me, said Bear. The others waited breathlessly. What could scare Bear? Manju cake, said Bear. Ooh, I'm afraid of manju cake. Manju cake? Cried Mouse. Bear began to shiver and quiver, quake and shake, all at the thought of manju cake. Don't even mention it, Bear cried. Bear ran to his cave to hide. Mouse had an idea. Fox, Snake, and Spider had the same idea. They all rushed back to Mouse's house. And returned with their manju cakes, which they tossed, pitched, headed, and volleyed into Bear's cave. And Bear's cave says, beware of Bear. So here they are, tossing and pitching, and Snake is the one doing the heading because he doesn't have arms to throw. And they're throwing the sticky, delicious, chewy manju cakes into Bear's cave. Then they waited and waited and waited. Waited and waited and waited. They're getting kind of bored. Until they're peeking into Bear's cave. And no way, said Spider. Bear came out grinning and licking his lips. It's scary how much I love manju cake, said Bear. And then he said, thanks for coming. Time to make more manju, said Fox. This time let's not try to scare Bear, said Mouse. Maybe we should share with Bear, said Snake. So maybe Bear said that on purpose, that he was scared of manju cakes so that they threw the cakes at him and then he could eat them. What do you think? Do you like manju cake? I do. I like anything sweet. Thanks for listening to these stories, and just click, 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 and you can get more and more and more stories. Plenty of stories. I've been recording these since COVID, whenever that was, 4 years, going on 5 years. So I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.